The mission? Build the world's first Pokemon playing necklace to be the coolest cat at an engineering event I've been invited to.
This is my buddy William Osmond, and he created a little event called Open Sauce because he was disappointed that weird, nerdy, hacky events like Make Your Fair isn't still around like when he was younger. And for some reason, they keep inviting me, so I keep showing up.
Oh yeah, I can get used to this.
This will be my third year, but I have a bit of an issue.
Every year, Open Sauce asks me if I want to participate in their show and tell. It's where you build something cool to show off in person at the event. And every year, I tell myself I'm gonna do it. But next thing I know, I look up and it's a week into the event. And so, for the past 2 years, I've had to sit in my silent jealousy as I walk around and check out the cool stuff built by William Osmond, Alan Pan, Backyard Scientist, Emily the Engineer. I can go on and on and on. And that's not to mention all the bitchin' vendors that show up and show out all their cool builds as well. I just can't take it anymore. I want in. Now you see, this year will be different because if I don't have a show and tell project by Open Sauce, I'm gonna hit up the team and cancel my appearance. And I'll maybe never get invited again. So let's get to work to prevent it. This is a project that I've been working on for the past few months. There's an AI trapped in this tiny device with the sole purpose of achieving something an AI, believe it or not, has never achieved before. Beating the original Pokemon game.
It still has a very long way to go, but in the meantime, it's still really fun to watch it train.
And so for my Open Sauce show and tell project, I'm gonna turn this device into a necklace and wear it around the event.
Of course, it's not that easy. And 15 hours from now, I'll be starting my 7-hour drive to San Francisco, so I don't have much time to complete the mission. But we must go back to last night when this last minute idea came to my mind.
It's 1 a.m. right now, and I am frantically looking for as many power banks that I have as possible. Okay, this is all I was able to find. I recently just finished a move. I'm sorry about all the boxes. I've been a very busy boy. But I don't know if any of these will work with this Raspberry Pi with the screen on it. We'll find out. It looks like it's powering it correctly. I don't see any errors or warnings or anything. Color me surprised. However, the build profile of the silver one, it's much smaller than the black one. So I want the battery to be as small as possible. So let's see if this silver one works without any warnings or issues. And would you look at that? With even the smaller profile of the silver one, no warnings, no errors, no nothing. All right, so this is really good news. This means that all I have to do is just design a housing that fits both of those in one and then print it within my 30-hour limit. I think that's doable. I also have to sleep, eat, be a good partner, and be a good father. Well, better get started.
I started with taking measurements and was going to fully CAD out the entire thing, but I realized this is a Raspberry Pi and there shouldn't be any reason to reinvent sliced bread. So a quick search on a CAD website and hippity hoppity, it's now my property. Then just sent that to 3D print right away. But because it's late, I decided to go to bed and pick it up first thing in the morning. Rule number 1 in 3D printing, never walk away from the first layer.
All right, bit of a disaster. I'm up like 3 or 4 hours later. Me and the fiance have to go pick up a rental car that we're gonna use to go to San Francisco with, leaving in about 24 hours approximately. Here's the piece. Printed successfully. I don't know if it fits. Before I hop in the shower, I'm gonna do a quick fit check. Yoink this, open this up. Like an egg. Shit. I forgot I have to unscrew those. I don't have time. Okay. Alright, so my biggest concern at the moment is that I only got 4 hours of sleep last night. And tomorrow I have a long drive. So it's very necessary that I go to sleep tonight pretty early. Because I have a baby and a fiance in the car and I don't want to be sleep swerving all on the road. But I mean it, man. If I can't finish this, I'm going to call up Will and tell him I have some last minute plans or something. He's going to be sad, upset, disappointed. It ain't gonna be pretty. It might even ruin our relationship. But, you know, honestly, if I had 24 more hours, I would feel a lot more confident. It's not my reality right now, so I have to figure this out. All right, so I'm here at the rental place. Officially about 23 hours remaining, but we'll see how long it takes to process everything. Keep me in your thoughts. All right, so I officially have the rental. It only took about 10-20 minutes, which is good. Headed back to the pad now. I'm gonna get this fucking design done. Oh my God, I forgot I have the pack still. Shit. Before I get to designing for hours on end, I want to start thinking about the chain link for the necklace that I'm gonna wear. And I 3D printed these things right here. I think I'm just gonna send these to print. I think the count is about 20 different links. If I keep it on draft settings, I can get this done in about 4 hours. I don't know if this is gonna work or not, so I'm gonna run this and hope for the best. But of course, there's issues on issues on issues. This little spool holder, if I want to run them both at the same time, I have to be able to find where the other spool holder is. Why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Wait, what is this? No, it's not spool holder. Where on earth could I put it? Time is wasting. I gotta think. Maybe I can use this like a spire.
By golly, I think it might be crazy enough to work. Oh, rotating, it's rotating. Look at it. All right, so this is working like a charm. This little black dot right there used to be over here. Now it's completely rotated, no issue. We press on. Okay, I am so tired, but I need to think fast. About 20 hours until we depart, and this does not fit, and I'm gonna have to do a bunch of different iterations to modify it to get it to fit. I don't have time to reprint that a bunch of times right now. All right, look, I gotta keep moving. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna modify the CAD. Added a little forehead to the back. Yeah, I was in such a rush that I failed to do a proper audio check. So the audio here is cursed, but basically, I took the hippity hoppity CAD and fixed the 2 errors I was facing. I removed the part that was blocking the pie from sliding in just right, and then I added enough space to sit the screws in flush for the battery housing attachment, and then I sent that to print. Here's where we're at. We got the chain links going, then we got the housing for the pie and the display. 30 minutes. I am actually ahead. I can take a 30-minute nap right now and not lose out on anything. I didn't end up taking a nap. In fact, I ended up filling that time with the hottest turn-based fighting game out right now called Bouters. Maybe you've heard of it. It's available on Android and iOS with a big update dropping soon. But before I knew it, it was chain link time. I'm so nervous if they fit or not. Please just work. Okay, that is better than I was expecting. Look at that. So it'll be like this, hanging about here. Damn, I would cringe. Look at this ice. Look at that ice, boy.
Shouldn't it be a little longer?
Oh, you don't like the choker look? I walked in and seen a thing that no father ever wants to see. What the hell is going on with my pie? All right, Mayday, code red. This shit is just not turning on anymore. I tried to debug it, do a few things. Nah, it's just cooked. I'm sitting here freaking the hell out because for some reason, the pie just completely just died on me. I don't know what's up. I've tried a couple of cards now, and I started to look if I could buy a Raspberry Pi locally. I don't care what the price was. I would have ran and got it, but you can only buy it online, it seems. There's none in my area, at least. And I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Was I not destined to wear my cringe little AI necklace? But then my wonderful, beautiful fiance realized something. Good old Chai here from the past video actually has a Raspberry Pi, which is the same exact one that I'm using over here. There are no guarantees that this will work, but it's better than having no option at all. So we're gonna run it. Man, when I woke up this morning, I was not thinking that the actual Raspberry Pi device itself would be the thing that might prevent me from completing this mission. What a turn of events this is. So here's what we got going on. There are a few points of failure. First one is the Raspberry Pi with the display on does not fit onto the housing with the screws in. That's step one. If we fail there, we only have a couple more hours left until I must go to sleep so I can drive safely. Second point of failure, that deals with using the backup Raspberry Pi 4. But we'll get into those details if we can pass this first point of failure. That's gonna be tough. I don't know if I can get that one. Psych, don't doubt me. Oh, right, the battery should already be in there. Yeah, that's gonna fit. That's definitely gonna fit. I just have to clean it up a little bit. Yeah, that's definitely fitting. Man, we're complete except for the fucking device doesn't turn on. I could be going straight to bed right now. The device is officially done. I didn't push it all the way in because it's a bitch to try and get out. If it were to turn on, this is job done, mission complete. However, it doesn't turn on. And so we must move on to our next points of failure. But before we do that, it's time for war. There are 3 points of failures that is preventing us from completing the mission. Number 1, does the backup Raspberry Pi turn on in its old state? 2, if we insert a new SD card into it, will it still work? And 3, transferring all files and getting the Pi set up for the Pokemon AI. This is all that is in our way for a successful mission. It's sub 11 hours. I want to get this done within the hour so I can pack and go to sleep. Let's do this. I started by connecting the replacement Pi to the display, but my heart sank to my cheeks when I learned it was not turning on either. It's not good. Down, but not defeated, I tried another display, and... oh! It works on the downstairs TV. Okay, this is a good sign. But I have more questions now. Does that mean that the other one might work on this one too? Let's find out. Nah, it doesn't. Something got wrecked. Jeez, what happened? Let's try this one again just to make sure it wasn't a fluke. Beautiful. Okay, let's run with it. With point of failure number 1 out the way, I grabbed a memory card with a fresh OS install on it and checked if it would boot up to test point of failure number 2. Alright, so if this boots up off the rip, I'm gonna be very sad because I formatted the last AI that was making some good progress for no reason. But that's life sometimes, I guess. Let's see what happens. Would you look at that? Default OS boots up immediately. Good. Okay, that is point of failure number 2 out the way. Last and final. Let's get our files on this bitch. And little did I know the pain I was about to endure. And I'm sorry, I don't have much footage outside of me locking in here, trying to figure out some really dumb hardware issues. So I'll draw some stick figures to show what happened. Long story short, the small display I'm using isn't connected by HDMI, which means you have to enable it in the deep config files. And for some reason, this time was so much harder to get it working. I was stuck on it for a good 20-30 minutes at least. And then, even though the Pi would boot up using a display in HDMI, it stayed on the black screen for a long time when I finally got the mini display to work. But looking back on it, I think this was just the natural boot up sequence as seen here. But I was so frustrated and impatient, I just didn't realize I just needed to wait an extra second. And then, oh man, so I finally get in, right? And there was this mind-rotting installation issue that almost shorted my brain. It would not let me install some of the most simplest Python libraries. I honestly spazzed out and don't even remember how I solved it, but as a treat, here's a rare look of me in the midst of my uncensored coding rage. I am stuck on this what the I've never had an issue installing packages. What is going on? Why does everything hate me? Yep, none of us are immune. But with enough time, I figured it all out. Never again. I am now sub 7, but I did it. I'm gonna get as many hours of sleep as I can. Never again. Okay, we're officially on our way. I went to bed, it was working. Here it is. There is no turning back now. Let's power it on and see if it works. All right, here we go. Gamers. Okay, white screen. Good sign so far. I'm gonna be bugging if it stays on this white screen. Okay, we got past the white screen, black screen. Okay, we got the boot up, the splash. We're not out of the woods yet. We're past the splash. Come on, show me Pokemon. Come on, come on, come on. Did it turn off? Oh, this is not good. I think the light's still on. Oh, look at that. We're about to see desktop. We're about to see desktop. Oh, desktop, baby. That means what comes next is, come on, show it to me, Pokemon. We did it. Oh my God. We fucking did it. I'm very sad we have to start over versus the 8 or 9 days of last one, but hey, look. We did it. I can't begin to tell you how much knowing I have a fun project to show off made everything so much more satisfying. An 8-hour drive to San Francisco couldn't have been more enjoyable. Those 3,000 brain cells didn't fry in vain. But as much as I would love to say this was the end of my nightmares for this project, just 3 hours before I had to go on stage for the first time the next day, I couldn't quite claim victory just yet because it broke again. I don't know how, I don't know why. All I know is that it's not a hardware level issue, which is good. I think if I wipe it, it should go away, but the problem is that I did not bring the proper tools to get into this computer to be able to wipe it. I need literally a mouse and keyboard to connect to Wi-Fi. I think I might be able to unplug the SD card, but no, I don't have an adapter. What am I gonna do? I'll save you the brain cells and just summarize what happened. Basically, the screen was black, and I spent a couple hours trying to frantically fix it. I bugged YouTube creator Matt Gray to borrow his SD card adapter, and then downloaded 3 different softwares to try and read Linux files from my Windows. Wiped the progress again, thinking it'd fix it, and oh no. I think there's an actual bug in the code, like an actual proper bug. This is terrible. It didn't. The screen still randomly turned black. All come to find out, it was just the screensaver setting that I forgot to disable when I swapped the new Pi. When it goes black, I'm gonna tap the screen to see if that is the issue. Please be it. I beg you. All right, it's a touchscreen. Here's the moment of truth. Oh, it's still running. Hell yeah. If I would have just tapped the screen, I would have figured it out. Now equipped with the knowledge of what the issue is and not being able to fix it using the Linux reading software, I can't add my hotspot without buying a professional license. I want to die. I did a recon mission to use the hotel mouse and keyboard instead. All right, so I just did some recon. There is a keyboard and mouse downstairs that I can hijack and maybe add the settings onto the Raspberry Pi. Let's give it a shot. All right, are we in? Oh, we're so in, baby. You're looking for boot/firmware. I added my mobile hotspot to the Pi's Wi-Fi. Yeah, Wi-Fi. There it is. All right.
Are we connected? Are we good? Oh, baby, we're in there, baby. Good deal. All right, mission complete here. Everyone was looking at me like I'm carrying a bomb. Honestly, I don't blame them.
And then I was able to edit the screensaver settings from my laptop. And then it was finally time for me to take the stage just in time.
Building this on the way over here used AI to fix a bug that I had in my code for this Pi device. And I did not realize.
And the rest of Open Sauce was a great time. Hung out with a bunch of creators, met a bunch of people who watched my videos, had a bunch of beautiful engineering focused chats, ate some good food, seen some cool builds. Unfortunately, I didn't film as much as I wish I did in hindsight. I was honestly just vibing out and enjoying the moment. But just know, everywhere I went, I had that thing on me.
Open Sauce truly has been the greatest event I've ever been to over the past few years. And I highly recommend pulling the trigger if you've been thinking about going. This thing was a smashing success. Lots of people thought it was cool. It was a great conversation starter. And someone even asked if I would sell them one. But I'm not sure if I want that Nintendo smoke. But for the first time in 3 years, I was finally able to feel included in the show and tell. And honestly, it has me even more excited to try and cook up something even crazier with more time for next year's show and tell. But as for what happens with this project, it's just gonna live right here in my living room until it does something cool, and then I'll probably make a video about it. But until then, shouts to all my Patreons on screen. These are true homies who have been here for over half a decade. And also, I've got a shipping addy now, so send me stuff.